My name is Jana Contreras, and I'm the owner of Jana Contreras Photography. Before photography, I was a teacher, and I taught at Windsor Christian Academy. Going through some health trials, I was able to realize teaching wasn't for me. Too many germs, I was getting sick way too often, and the doctors were like, this is not something that you can do in the future. And I realized through the hardships of just being sick all the time, it wasn't worth it. And as much as I loved it, I knew that I'd find something greater and that I was more passionate about. So I was born with a lot of bone issues. Bunions is usually what older people get, but I had juvenile bunions, which means not only is your bone out on the side, your feet are crunched in. So by the time of 16, I would be pretty much paralyzed if I didn't have a surgery. Going through my life, I knew that that was coming, so I think it didn't faze me because I didn't understand fully what pain and surgeries meant until I got there. But when I was 15, I went in for a normal doctor's appointment, and then they realized that I had scoliosis, and my spine went from just a little curve to a major snake-looking curve pretty soon. And they obviously took concern to it, so within, I think, a year, I had spine surgery. My spine surgery was my first surgery, and I was 15 years old. And then my second surgery was the summer after, and I was 16, and that was my foot surgery. So I did that, and that was the most intense surgery I've ever had. I really wrestled with having this pain and not feeling normal as a teenager and dealing with all of this struggles that normal teenagers have, and then adding on the fact that you have to learn how to walk again at the age of 16. I didn't feel normal. I cried every day for 2 weeks. I just remember that when I was learning how to deal with all that, and my body was rejecting pain meds, and I wasn't able to keep food in me for a couple weeks. It was hard. I just didn't get it. And my dad finally came into my room and was like, you have two options. You either live and enjoy life and use what you have to help others, or you just sit here and cry. You just become depressed and become what your illness is. And I think that's honestly what other doctors have told me. You have two choices. You either fight for your life or you give up. And I realized I don't want to give up. I know that there's more for me out there, and I know that I can make a difference, but I have that choice. And you have to make it every day too, sometimes when you have a chronic illness. But especially when you're going through the flare-ups or the surgeries, you have to make it every minute almost. There was just this one night where honestly it all just clicked. I basically was in bed. I was just so done with being sick that I just got up and walked. And I was like, wow, I did it. I put my mind to it, and I walked on this much pain. And I just remember getting up and walking, no pain meds, ton of pain, and not feeling the pain as much. So I'm like, oh wow, it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, it was still really bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought because I put my mind to it and I was determined. And I think that's basically been my biggest word in my business is perseverance and pushing through hard times to get through the breakthroughs in my work or in my life or in my health issues. And I was able to overcome that pain, and it helped me in many surgeries to come. I was not done yet. For a year, just kept getting sicker and sicker. I was constantly in the hospital with infections, from pneumonia to sinus infections to heart problems to so many different things. Then they finally realized that I had a heart disorder. It started off mild, and then as I was teaching, it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and finally I had to quit my job because I was just so sick. I felt like I had to give up on my dreams. I thought teaching was what I was meant to do, and I loved it, and there was nothing I could possibly love more. I really gave up on my dreams for a little bit. I'm such a believer in setting goals, setting dreams. My dad instilled that in me, and if I couldn't reach my goals, what is there in life? What's my purpose? So I just remember being hopeless for a little bit and praying about it and not knowing what am I supposed to do? Teaching was the plan. Now that I can't teach and I have a degree in it, what do I do? And then I just remember feeling led to start a business degree, go back for a business degree. And then after that came, I really love photography. And I picked up a camera and just realized oh gosh, I really love this, and I love it more than teaching. It was all learning how to cope with the pain and learning how to still be passionate about things and still have a future and hope for the future, even in that pain. And that's when I developed a love for photography and surfing, which is weird. I don't actually surf, but I think the one thing that gave me hope, and it sounds crazy, is surfing. I like literally posted pictures everywhere of surfing on my walls and told myself like one day I'm gonna get on that board. One day I'm gonna do things that I actually can't do now. I think hope is just actually doing something. Like getting out of bed, doing something, being scared, but being like, I'm okay that I'm scared. I'm gonna do it anyways. And I think it's just jumping out on that limb and realizing it's okay to fail, and it's okay as long as you like persevere. Every senior client, I give them this little flyer, or it's more of a thing they can frame. It says, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. I feel like that's like my motto for not even seniors, just couples too. Like, don't be afraid to do big things. Dream big dreams and go for it. Don't set little dreams, like set the big ones and then work your way up to it. Taking action is what gave me hope. Not that it's what defines everyone's hope, but I think that taking action is what gave me hope, and giving back and realizing that, you know, this life is way bigger than just my life.